Congratulations on the album. I've had a chance to listen to it over and over today, and it is an absolutely fantastic album. So congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So I was wondering if you could start off by telling us a little bit about how the band came together in the first place.
Sure. I met Saki in 2015. Back then I was playing with Dragon Force, and we played in a show in Hong Kong, and Saki's band, Mary's Blood, was opening for us. And so that's how we met. We say hi to each other in the dressing room, had a few drinks, and that was it. And then I went to Japan a few months after that, and there she was. And then we spent an evening, probably until 5 in the morning, having drinks and laughing. So the connection was made. And then because I go to Japan very often, we would meet up each time and connect more. And up until 2018, when we thought that it would be cool to make music together. And so that was it. Then her management got involved. The label called Ward in Japan got involved as well. And then it was time to find some musicians. And because I meet a lot of people, I got in touch with Kuhn from Epica, Sean Reinert at first, and then can you still hear me?
I can. Yep.
Bad. All right, brilliant. Then I got in touch with Sean Reinert, who used to play in Cynic, and he started, and then he couldn't make it, so we got Mike instead, and then Archie on vocals. But maybe you have some questions about the members, so I shut up for now.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you, first of all, Saki, how did you know that she was somebody that you wanted to work with? What was it about her that made you realize this is someone that I want to form a band with?
You're not the first one to ask this, but I would compare it to making, creating Sinsanum and playing with Joey Jordison. It's just about connection with people. I could easily, through labels and whatnot, I could try to reach people that I haven't met before, and just ask them, hey, would you like to play on an album that I'm making, blah blah. But to me, it's all about having a good feeling with a person. So I don't know. I mean, we just connected as human beings, having things in common, and we're just shall we play music together? So that's just that simple, really. There was no. When I met her the first time, I was not like, "Hey, my name is Fred. You want to make music with me?" It took a little while to get to know each other, and then it just happened like this.
Tell us a little bit about the music scene in Japan. I know what the scene is like in Thailand, but not Japan. What's the Japanese metal scene like, and what is it that you love about the country? Why you keep going back there?
About the music scene, I'm the other day I'm French, so I know probably not as much as. I mean, I've been there many times with Dragon Force, but through the eyes of a French person. So I don't know. I mean, the public's been, the crowd's been always great, and people were very friendly. But it's hard for me to analyze what they really like and what's big there. So I don't really know. I mean, all I know is that I've always been treated very well, and that to me, what's important is that I love the country. I grew up being fascinated by Japan, but because of subculture, animes and video games. So I had my little picture of Japan, just like, wow, this would be great, and my father was into ninja movies and whatnot, so I had this image of Japan, and when I went there the first time, I was like, wow, this is great. This is actually even better than what I imagined. And I think people are very friendly. It's very clean. It's very secure. And it's very safe. And I just feel great when I'm there. I feel almost better. In fact, I feel better than when I'm in France. So it's only the language barrier. Otherwise, I would have moved there already. But so yeah, to me, it was like a dream come true to be able to make an album with a Japanese person, with a Japanese label, and be able to travel there to write or finalize the album. So it was just like sort of on my bucket list, and something that I've done. So I'm very happy about it, and I want to carry on doing it.
Now, my inner geek wants to ask you, what was the animes that made you fall in love with Japan? What animes did you watch when you were younger?
I mean, well, Dragon Ball, Fist of the North Star, or Hokuto no Ken, Cobra, which is called Space Adventure Cobra. I don't know. I mean, the list goes on and on. The Senseiya, we had them all in France. So I was just like, I don't know. I had that fascination together with video games, playing Nintendo or the NEC PC engine, which was maybe not so famous in other countries, but for some reason it was big in Japan and in France, kinda. And so yeah, all of that. But yeah, definitely the first that comes to mind when it comes to anime is Dragon Ball. But there's definitely more. Dragon Ball Senseiya, Dr. Slump, a lot.
Awesome. Well, the band that you've put together, it's a very universal band coming from many different countries. How did that affect getting together to work on the album and to write the album in the first place?
Well, I mean, that's something I've been used to, being in Dragon Force in the past, and also since Sainam, having two members from the US and one from Budapest, Hungary. So I know that this is something that nowadays is definitely doable because of, thanks to technology, sending MP3s and ideas. So in terms of songwriting, it was just Saki and I writing the songs. So I started piling up ideas on my own. She did the same, and then at some point I was like, "This is cool, but I feel something's missing. Like I would like to really connect for this instead of just like sending back and forth ideas, which I've done in the past and it's fine. But I felt like we needed that sort of connection to make the thing more organic, if you will. And so I went to Japan 3 weeks, and we asked the label if we could use one of their rooms in their office. And they said yes, and so we spent 3 weeks working on all the songs that we both had written and finalizing them together. So that's how it went for songwriting. So we both wrote briefs. I was in charge of the production. I produced the album as well, so I was overseeing everything. For the lyrics, I wrote them together with Archie, the singer.
Yep.
And then for the recording, everybody was, had a personal home studio, so that was easy like that. And because they were all great musicians, there was no point for me traveling and being behind their back and going like, "Hey, Mike, you missed a kick over there," or just going to the Netherlands and asking Koen just like, "Can you do that thing with your fingers again on piano?" There was no point, so that was fine like that. So I went to Japan with Saki 3 weeks to work on finalizing the songs, and as for recording, everybody did it separately, and then I was just like in charge of like putting everything back together. And flew to Sweden to mix the album with Jens Bogren.
So what kind of things were inspiring you lyrically when you sat down to work on the lyrics this time?
Lyrically, I don't know. I mean, there was no limitation. That's the cool thing. When I was with Dragon Force, for instance, I felt the limitation within. Lyric felt like it was had to be more fantasy or uplifting, or I don't know. There were definitely limitations as far as I was concerned.
Yeah.
Here I was just like, hey, I can sing about, I can write about whatever I want. But at the end of the day, the subjects are all fairly easy. I wanted something that appeals to everybody, so it's more like personal experiences, betrayal or love, things like this. Simple. I was not trying to overcomplicate things. So a song like Samurai is about, imagining. Well, I'm wearing a shirt about samurai, by the way. It's about a samurai, a vision of samurai and the way of living. Innocent is about betrayal, about someone that just like looks innocent but is not. So I think just like simple, not opening the book of big great lyrics and trying to interpret blah blah blah. I think it was just like I wanted to have like an album that could speak to everybody in a direct, simple, not simple as in like but like just like an easy way. I wanted to make a easy album, a feel good album. So that's how it worked. And the same with Archie. I was just like, you hear a song, that's how I work. I hear a melody and then something comes to mind. I know that Miller, from the singer from Creator, it's different for him. It's just like the lyrics come first, so he's got a different way of working than I do. But for me, it's like music first, and then try to picture a scenario in my head. Like Welcome to the Party, for example. It's totally about me being still awake at 7 a.m. because I've been, partying way too much and I should go to bed. And I've done that many times, and many times I've told myself, I promised myself I won't get screwed again. Those are the lyrics, and they're very true. So I can stand by them 110%. I've been awake at 7 a.m. way too often, and still doing it sometimes. So yeah.
A lot of people say that a song is influenced about where you wrote it. Did you find that writing in Japan influenced some of that early material during that 3 weeks that you were there?
So first I wrote not most of the material, but a good part of the material was written at home in France, right after the world tour with Sinsane. So I was pretty knackered. I was like, oh God, I'm tired, but I'm inspired as well. So I was writing stuff which was not really translating the state of how tired I was. It was just like, okay, I'm making melodic music, and here we go. So but then going to Japan, someone asked that question already. It's how to pinpoint. I cannot tell you that note is definitely because I went to eat sushi the night before.
Yeah.
So it's not exactly like that it works, but it's more like definitely I was feeling great because I was in Japan to make an album. My hotel was near the Emperor's Palace, where I was going every morning for jogging. I was jogging around the Emperor's Palace, and I was feeling it, and it was cherry blossom. So it was definitely, I was in a great mood. So it definitely inspired me in some ways, but it's very hard to define exactly what happened. I know, the song Waves, the instrumental song Waves, we wrote that one because we actually went out and had a few drinks the night before, and then we were tired, and then we wrote that song, which was really mellow and was exactly the way we felt. So that's a direct impact from Tokyo City Nights. But apart from that, I guess it was just like the overall feeling. I was feeling great. So hopefully that translates in the music, and people can feel great the way I felt great. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely it does. So bringing out a debut album during a pandemic, what kind of limitations has that put on you, and what's it been like not being able to get out there and play live shows this year?
Well, it sucks, but I don't really have a choice, do I? This year I've been doing one show that was with the Creator, and that was like what's the word? It was vacant online, so there's no crowd. You're playing in in cameraman, and It's okay. It's a year off for me. That's good. I've done my fair share of shows in my life, so I can survive 1 year without. With that being said, I'm really looking forward to go on tour for sure. And yes, releasing an album during that time is not ideal because we wanted to release it originally. The plan last time I went to Japan, which was in February, March earlier this year, I was sitting with Saki and talking about releasing the album maybe in June and then doing like a summer tour, and if not all the members could be there, maybe we could do acoustic, and you're making plans, and because it's one thing to release an album, but it's always great to be able to to meet people that bought it and then share something with them. I mean that's the whole point of doing concerts. So we're not able to do that. But at the same time, I guess the world is pretty grim these days. So in a way, I'm happy that we're releasing a melodic and a positive album in such dark times. So
Yep.
I guess that in a way that's pretty cool, I suppose. So I'm trying to see the positive side of things. So
Yeah.
But of course it sucks. Yeah.
I was going to ask, how are things there now? Because we're kind of celebrating here at the moment. We've just gone 6 days COVID free with no cases reported. So what's it been like there now for you? Have they talked about when restrictions might be lifted?
No, not really. I mean, they're just like sort of they're doing the same as in March. They go like 4 weeks and then we talk again, and then they're just gonna.
Yep.
Obviously now the big carrot is Christmas. It's like if you're being nice, maybe you can spend Christmas with your family, but right now, lockdown started last week. I just recently bought a house with my wife, and we live in the countryside, and there's a forest. Literally 1 minute walk from our house. So I'm good as far as I'm concerned. I'm fine. That's okay. That's good. But I mean it's same lockdown. Well, it's not the same actually. The first one was very strict. This one is like half-assed because you just like you can go to work. So you can go. I mean, you're allowed to go to work, and you're allowed to go to certain supermarkets. So it's I'd rather have like a total lockdown and just like you stay home and you can't. But here it's just like people don't really know what's whatever. I just walk in the forest. And, the only problem is like, can I go visit my mom? Because we're not supposed to travel from an area to a different one.
Yep.
So that's the sucky part. But apart from that, like I said, I've got the woods. So I'm just gonna be here, do interviews, write music, and when I'm allowed to move again, I'll move.
Definitely, nature is a great way to escape. Well, I know we're almost out of time, so just before I go, what would you like to say to Aussie fans out there before they sit down and take a listen to this album for the first time?
First of all, hello, Aussie fans. I don't know. Give it a try. I think it's a very positive album. It's musically, it's everything I've always been. I mean, the heavy metal, the way I see it. So that means it's not like the fact that it's a debut album gave us all the freedom that we needed, that I needed. So I mean, if you like, I don't know, if you're not limited in one genre, and if you like Pantera, Disturbed, Whitesnake, Extreme, Megadeth, Alice Cooper, then this album is for you. And I don't know, if you're narrow-minded, then go to hell. But it's a good album. It's catchy, and give it a chance. And then let me know on Twitter or Instagram if you liked it or if it's. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, mate, again, thank you so much for chatting to us tonight. It's been an absolute privilege, and hopefully we get to see you in Australia sometime in the future.
Well, I'd love to. I love Australia. The only one thing I hate about Australia is your big ass spiders, and I'm always scared, and I sleep badly when I go to Australia because I'm checking my hotel room 5 times. I'm like,
Yep.
doing some shit, and I hate your, and everybody's always like, oh yeah, we have those, we have wolf spiders, huntsmen, and those ones they don't bite. So I'm like, well, yeah, but they're the size of a fucking plate, so I hate them. But yeah, I hate your spiders, but you guys are cool, so I'm really looking forward to come back, hopefully next year.
Definitely. Well, mate, our arms are open, waiting for you to come. So hopefully we do get to see you soon.
All right.
All right. You have a great day, and hopefully we chat again in the future.
Yeah, I hope so. You take care.
All right. See you later. Bye.